Okay, right now in question 5c, they say that if gx equals to k and k is a constant term, then for what values of k will f of x equals to g of x have no real solutions if x is an element of 0 to 180 degrees? So basically in this question here, we are gonna look at the function of f of x from 0 to 180 degrees. Now from looking at the graph that we are given there, 0 degrees will be here, right? And then 180 degrees will basically be just here. Let me just use it. It will just be here. So that will be 180 degrees, and then there it will be 0 degrees, right? Because in that function there, sorry, let me look at for my calculator. Because in that function there, if you were to substitute, so in this function there, so we are dealing with that function. Let me just highlight it for you. This one there, if we had to substitute 0 in the place of x, you're gonna get 1. So the value of a there, it's supposed to be 1 there. So here we are supposed to have 1, so that is supposed to be 1. And then, and also if you substitute 180 degrees plus 1, can you see that we're gonna still get 1? Now what we're gonna look for now, we are looking for the value that will be basically here at the top, or what we call a turning point. Now to find that turning point now, let's just take the number between 180 and 0. A number between 180 and 0 is going to be 90 degrees. So let's take 90 degrees, right? So we're gonna take 90 degrees, right? And that would be 90 degrees. So if we substitute 90 degrees in there, our value at the top, it's supposed to be 4. So the value there is supposed to be 4. So the function of f of x now from 0 to 180 degrees, the lowest value that it can get to is going to be 1, and the highest value that it can get to is going to be 4. Now in the question they say that we need to find f of x equals to g of x where it won't have no real solutions if f of x is 0 from 100. So we have now found that function f of x from 0 to 180. Now remember we have that f of x equals to g of x, right? Now remember g of x is gonna be k, right? So f of x equals to k. Alright, so basically we need to find the values where f of x is equals to k, but is not gonna have real solutions. Now if you look at this graph, can you see that if you found, if because this function of f of x, the function of f of x, I mean to say, can you see that its maximum is going to be 4? Now if any value of k was going to be bigger than that, then our value, then our f of x equals to g was not gonna have, was going to have no real solutions, because can you see that the maximum that it can reach, it's only 4? So any value bigger than 4 is going to have none real solutions. So the first one, we're gonna say that therefore k must be greater than 4. All right, and then another thing, can you see that the minimum value, so this is the maximum there, so I can just use a different color. So this is the maximum value, right? Maximum value, and then 1, and then 1 will be the minimum value. Okay, now if you look at that function from 0 to 180 degrees, can you see that its minimum value is only going to be 1? And then, so if any value is going to be less than 1, that's gonna make f of x equals to g of x have no real solutions, because the highest that it can reach as a minimum, it has to be 1. So if any values are less than 1, it means that the function also is going to have no real solution. So your solutions is supposed to be k greater than 4 or k must be or k less than 1, because the lowest value that it can get to it's only 1 and the highest that it can get to is 4. So any value bigger than 4 is going to have no real solutions, and then any value which is less than 1 is going to also have no real solution. So the answer in this question that we're looking for is this one. So k must be greater than 4 or k must be less than 1, cause the maximum that it can reach is 4 and the minimum that it can reach is 1. So any values bigger than 4 is going to have no real solutions, and any value less than 1 it's going to also have no real solutions. Alright, hopefully that's understandable.